Hyer. For my cultural research project for this class, I focused on researching Germany and in particular the Ellis Island immigrants. My second great grandma was an immigrant from Germany, and this is actually an original ship manifest that has her name on it, Emily Katz. And then I also found some records from her coming over. She came over a couple times actually. She went back and forth a couple times. But I wanted to learn more about why they were immigrating, and it was really interesting to find out sort of what happened before Hitler took over. And my second great grandma actually danced with Hitler. There's a record of her experience with that, which is kind of scary. But I learned a lot about what was going on over there as far as the government and sort of the lack of freedom in regards to living comfortably and being able to be religious. And while my great grandma wasn't very religious, she did eventually come over to America and receive the discussions, and she was baptized into the LDS church. And it was interesting to me to see that I think had she stayed in Germany, that probably would not have happened, and my family probably wouldn't have had the gospel or been where we are today were it not for that immigration. And so that was really interesting. And then for my family retention project, I originally my family's not very good with records, and so my second great grandma on my mom's side and my great grandma have written, here's some pictures in scribbled horrible writing. Well, there's some typing, but like in these, they've written down records of our family and some stories, and these were tucked away in a Bible. And as you can see, the paper's kind of deteriorating on some of them. And so I wanted to transcribe them and have an electronic record. However, my family didn't feel comfortable sending them in the mail to me for fear that they might get lost because we only have one of these. And so they sent me some pictures, and a couple of them, like this one, I could read, but the ones that I really wanted to get the names from, I couldn't see it. And so that's project is going to be on hold until I return back to Boise. And so meanwhile, I decided just to do some extra personal interviews for my family. Like I said, we're not really big record keepers. My grandparents and my parents haven't ever kept a journal, and they have a lot of interesting and amazing experiences. And so I took the questions from our first interview project that we had to do. Sorry, it's trying to load. I took the questions from the first interview project, and I interviewed my grandma for that one. And so for this project, I sat down on the phone with my grandpa and my mom and my dad, and I asked them every single question and wrote down every single thing they said. And it was really amazing. They said a lot of things that they told me nobody else knows. They listed family members that we really hadn't taken into consideration for family history, which was awesome. And there were a lot of traditions and hardships in their life that I never knew had existed. And so like we've been learning, when we learn about our ancestors, even if they're still living, we build a better relationship with them, and we can kind of see where we're at today because of their choices. And that was a real big testimony building for me. And it was also amazing to hear their testimonies because they don't share it that often. And so this was a wonderful experience. I think I spent with my grandpa, I think it was a 3-hour interview, with my mom a couple hours, and it was just full of stories and information. And I love this project. I want to continue doing the interviews of my family members that are living, so we can have this to look back on. And those were my projects. So thank you very much.